How's it? I'm Yarps. I'm off out again tonight on a one-night solo wild camp in my local woods. I did just find what I thought was a really good spot. I put my bags down, got my chair out, set myself up a little comfortably, got out a little gin and lemonade and had a few sips of that. Felt really good about the little location I had, and out of the bushes came two dog walkers with three dogs, and I thought, here we go. Hadn't even had a chance to recce. So what I have done is I've headed back to an old familiar spot. It's one of Daz Outdoor UK spots. I know this is quite a way off the beaten track, less likely to see anybody around here. You may remember the spot from my first video, but I've just gone for safety on that one. I'm out on my own, so let me give you a quick 360 show around. So that's the two trees that we had the tarp set up over before. Daz was previously camped with his tent the other side of that. This is the 360 of the surrounds. And down to the right of my bag there is where I'm going to set my tent up, and that's where I set it up last time. So take two, I'm going to set my chair up, have another little sip of my gin and lemonade, and then set my tent up. Cheers. Basic tent is up. It's totally freestanding, no pegs in it at the moment. What I have done, and this I learned a lesson last time, thank you Daz Outdoors UK, we've got a secret hiding place for the mallet, so he's left a mallet here. I've also purchased some titanium pegs, just 4 of them, but the problem we got here is it may look lovely in green, but underneath that is very, very rocky. And my tent pegs that come with this tent and any other tent pegs I've got are just not good enough. They bend when you try and hammer them into the ground. So I invested in these. Dad showed me how to use them. I'm going to knock these in. You create a hole using the titanium peg, and then you pop your own pegs in after that. So this is really just like a loosener just to get the other pegs in. Well, I've been sat here for about 15 minutes just enjoying the sun setting. Yes, it looks brighter on screen than it actually is here. It is getting quite dark in the woods. Tent's all set up. That's it over there. Let's give you a quick show inside. It's probably not a lot different to the last time I showed you. I don't know if it's going to be bright enough in there, but I'm sure the camera will lighten things up. So there we go. There's inside the tent. I've got that little foil undermat, and then I've got the obsidian OneTigris camp mat, 5.2R rating apparently. On top of that, the OneTigris top quilt. Usually use that in a hammock. I'm going to use it on sleeping out here tonight. I've got a foam pillow, OneTigris, waiting for you to make a foam pillow, and that's just my OneTigris Wild Rocket rucksack in here as well. I'm just going to close this up now. The jacket's in there too. I've got a Columbia jacket. It's something I bought dirt cheap a couple of years back, but it's lined with a shiny silver stuff. Can you see that? And what that does is reflect your body heat back to you. So not only is it 100% down, I think it's duck and goose down or something or other. I think it was expensive when it came out, but I got it dirt cheap. And then it's got that silver lining in it, which just reflects the heat back. So it's superb for colder weather. Absolutely superb. Not that it's going to be that cold tonight, but hey, let's go. Anyway, I'll zip that up just to keep any bugs out. And that's my setup for tonight. So now I'm just about to start with my cook kit. I've got the OneTigris fire mat there. It's the fire retardant mat. I tested it out with Daz Outdoors a couple of videos ago. Hence you can see the sort of the marking in the middle of it. It's the latest one out. It's on there, the OneTigris main website. It's also on AliExpress, but it's not yet available on Amazon. I'm going to just test it a few more times and then I'll do a little review on it. It's a decent little mat. It's supposed to have, ideally, water in it, and then you can set up your wood oven, etc. on top of it, and therefore any logs or whatever that drop off will drop into the wool. But it is a fiberglass mat, and it is sort of latex covered. We did have fire directly on top of it, hence you can see that scorch marking in the middle of it there. And yes, it has worn away some of the latex through that, but I thought I would test it to the limits. I'll come back to you another time and show you the end results of the testing and endless testing I do on it. Let's get it destroyed first, and then we'll come back to you. But it's a great mat so far out of the one use. Today I'm just using it as a little bit of extra care on the forest floor. I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was TA Outdoors who did a video a couple of months ago, and he was off out camping in the woods, but then came across a forest fire, an underground forest fire, and he had to call 999 and abandon his camp. But that is an extremely interesting video, and that just shows you, I don't think it was an intentional fire. Someone lit their fire. The fire penetrated into the ground. They obviously left, probably thinking the fire had been put out, whatever, not realizing it was a number of inches below the ground, and it spread underground. And he came across it, got the fire brigade. I think it took 2 enginefuls of water to actually put the damn thing out. But it just shows you need to take extra care, and that's what I'm going to do tonight. That's the vase wax burning on top of the wood pellets. It will set fire to those wood pellets, and the gas fire works from burning from top down. So this is not a fire that you build underneath and lay in on top. You build up your wood pellets or wood and then light it from the top. Okay, there we go. The gasifier is taken off. The wood pellets are starting to burn. It's not gasifying as yet. It's still igniting the wood pellets themselves. And before we start heating the water up and making some coffee, etc., I wanted to just have a quick chat about something a subscriber has raised. So if I come back to camera onto me and just tell you that I've had one of my subscribers, a chap called Watson. Can't remember the first name. That may not have been a first name. It may just be Watson. So hope you don't mind, Watson, if I call you Watson. Anyway, Watson's asked a question. The question was something along the lines of, Yarps, why do you hang a lemon at the entrance to your tent? Indeed so. I do have a lemon at the entrance to my tent. And well noticed there, Watson. And I'm quite happy to tell you why. Before I do, Watson, great name, and reminds me of something. Well, I'm sure most of you know Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, or Arthur Ignatius Conan Doyle. He's the author. He was born in Scotland, Edinburgh. He was a physician by trade, and he later on developed into an author, and he created the character Sherlock Holmes. Yep, we all remember Sherlock Holmes. And we remember his sidekick as well, one of my favourite characters, Dr. Watson. So hence the little hint, Watson, Watson. Anyway, Watson, back to the lemon. No, let's finish up on Arthur Conan Doyle. He's actually buried fairly locally here, probably about 5 or 6 miles away in a village in the New Forest called Minstead. And there's a church there, I think it's called the All Saints Church, and he's buried under a great oak tree. He wasn't buried there initially. Allegedly he was moved, his remains were moved 10 years after he died to Minstead to be buried alongside his wife underneath a great oak tree. A little bit of fuss, I believe, with the congregation there when he was moved to be buried there, because he was a spiritualist, not a Christian. So despite his fame, I think it was hushed up a little bit. I don't think the Almighty was overly enamoured with it either, because the great oak tree that he's buried under still bears the scars of 2 lightning strikes. So anyway, sorry about that, diverged away from your question, Watson, which was why is there a lemon hanging in the entrance of my tent? Right, as we were dealing with religion there in the church, lemons are important in certain religions. I know that in Judaism lemons are form part of some of their rituals, and in Hinduism as well. They are sacred, and they form part of a variety of rituals that they carry out in Hinduism. But it's not that reason. I'm certainly not a member of either of those faiths. Spirituality is another potential source. I mean, people do hang garlic outside of their doors, and the garlic is there to ward away evil spirits. In this case, the lemon could be there as a spiritual thing. The lemons do symbolize longevity, long life, love, friendship, that kind of thing. There is a little twist to it with bitterness and that sort of thing as well. Is it there for spiritual reasons? No, I'm afraid not, Watson. So you ask yourself, why is it there, Yarps? Why do you have a lemon hanging outside your tent entrance? Well, it's simple. It's a lemon entry, my dear Watson. Unlike last camp trip, I've eaten well today. I had 2 thin-cut sirloin steaks with 2 fried eggs for breakfast. I've had a selection of bits and bobs that I've finished up out of my fridge, and it's left me pretty damn full. However, this evening I will have something. I've popped into the shop on the way here, and I bought some Higgity sausage rolls. Posh versions of a sausage roll. I'm just going to try those out. That's going to be my supper, along with once the gasifier has boiled my water. You can see that that's gasifying beautifully now. Absolutely fantastic. Water's on. Ain't going to be long now. This thing is damn quick. So I'm going to enjoy my sausage rolls, have a cup of coffee. I've hung up my little light there by the tree just to give me a little light while I'm sat here. Cheers. Well, I'll tell you what, I must say that fire log has been amazing. It's been on for well over an hour now, and it's still burning away quite fiercely. I'm getting quite a lot of warmth from it. I'm really pleased with it. It's something I'll definitely think about bringing along again if it's certainly wet out here and going to be difficult to find some dry wood. I've popped the little lamp on as well for the moment, just to light up the area, because I wanted to just quickly show you a little adaptation I've made of my OneTigris chair. Now it's the basic OneTigris promenade chair, and I find this chair really comfortable. However, like most camping chairs, once you sit in them facing the fire, you get a chill down your back and on your butt. So what I thought about is one of these foil blankets, and you cut it to shape, pop it on the chair, and then sit your ass down on that, and of course that foil's reflective, so your butt stays warm and your back stays warm while you're facing the fire. Great little guy. It's called a Yarps foil reflector. Copyright. Anybody wants to take up the idea, don't forget to drop me a few quid as compensation. Thanks. Right, I've been sat here, I don't know how long. The little fire log is still burning away there. I'm overly impressed with it, as I said earlier. The view out here is, well, as you'd expect, pitch black, because the fire is creating this little glow around where I am. There is nothing else to see out there at all. Absolutely nothing. So I'm going to sit here and wait for that to burn out. Once it's burnt out, assuming I'm still warm enough and not too tired, I'm going to sit out here in the pitch black and then see how my eyes adapt, because at the moment I cannot see a thing. If I look up, I can see stars in the sky through the gaps in the trees. That's beautiful. But certainly looking horizontally out there in the forest, it's pitch black. I can't see a thing. Lots of noises, lots of sounds out there, but I can't see a thing. I'm actually going to leave the tent flap open tonight. Yes, my lemon's still hanging up there. We'll see if it's there in the morning. You might find some sort of deer or badger or something having it away during the night, but anyway, I'm going to leave it up and see what happens. I'm going to leave the flap open as well. I had a conversation with Life's a Hobby Owen about condensation in tents, and he said, leave the flap open, Yarps. The more air circulation you have, the drier you'll be, and actually the warmer you'll be. So going to give it a go tonight. I'm going to leave the flap open. I'll enjoy sleeping with views of the forest anyway, so for me it'll be great. Obviously the bug net is there, so that'll keep any little midges or anything that may be around this time of the year out. So yeah, I'm going to sit here, wait for that lot to burn out. It's still burning rigorously. It may be another 15 minutes, half an hour I think, before that actually dies off. And then I'm going to enjoy some pitch black, and then I'm going to head to bed. It's a good half an hour since I last spoke to the camera, and yep, that little log is still burning. I have no idea how something so small can burn for so long. The packaging said 90 minutes. It's been way over 90 minutes and that thing's still burning. It occasionally gives a little flicker as if it's about to go off and then starts burning again. So yep, still here, waiting it for burnout. It's been half an hour. That little log is still burning. It's supposed to be a 90-minute burn time. This thing's gone on for about 2 hours now. Unbelievable. Great value. I'm waiting for it to go out though, because I want to spend a little bit of time in the pitch black. Hey, it's gone out. Of course, the embers are still red, so I'm sure they'll be burning for a little while longer, but actually the flame has gone out, so now I'll start to enjoy the actual night. Well, I'm in my tent, in my bed. I sat out there in the pitch black and absolutely adored it. My eyes didn't adapt quite as well as I had to on my last camp out when I hammock camped. I could see a fair bit, but it's an extremely clear night. There's much clearer overhead canopy wise. There's a lot of sky. The stars are absolutely beautiful tonight. There's a great display out there, and I spent a lot of my time just looking up at the stars, to be fair. Anyway, the coals, the embers have gone out now. There was a time there where they were kind of pulsating up and down the remains of the log, and that was kind of mesmerizing to look at as well. So it's been a lovely evening. Started feeling a little chilly, so nothing. The worst thing you can do is go and jump into your camp bed with feeling cold. So what I did was a little stroll around outside the tent there, just to get the blood flowing. Don't want to go hot and sweaty, just to get the blood flowing, just to warm up a little bit, particularly my feet. And then that's the great time to then get into your camp bed. You don't want to get in cold, because you get in cold, you stay cold. Very difficult to warm up again. Anyway, I'm in here now. So I was feeling tired and eyes were drooping a little bit, but having done my little walkabout and got into bed now, I'm feeling wide awake again. So I'm going to see if I can drift off, just listen to the night from in here. If I can't, well, I've got a downloaded video on Netflix I can start to watch. That generally sends me to sleep pretty quickly. But yeah, anyway, it's a good night from me. Good morning. 06:30. Great night's sleep, actually. I was up at around 2:30ish, I think it was, for empty my bladder. But apart from that, a couple of stirrings, but not that many. Yeah, really warm. This OneTigris obsidian mat is exceptionally warm. It really is. I mean, I was a little questioning of its 5.2 rating, but no, definitely it's bouncing back a super amount of heat to me. So yeah, very good sleep, and I slept better in the OneTigris top quilt than I do in my snug pack sleeping bag. The snug pack's lovely, but it is snug. It does feel tight. I feel a lot more spacious with the top quilt on. I'm a side sleeper, and I tend to move during the night, side to side, occasionally on my back. And no, that was the top quilt was a much better idea. I'm not sure if it was kind of in the minus temperatures whether it would be great. Probably wouldn't, but if it was last night's temperatures, which are down to about sort of 6-7 degrees, yeah, it was great. No issue at all with that. So yeah, I'm going to get up now. I don't think I'm going to bother lighting up my stove and getting a coffee and things. I think I'm just going to pack up, enjoy the sunrise that's about to happen out there, and and then make my way back to the car. It's bin day, refuse day at home, and I haven't put all the bags out and stuff, so I need to get back early in case the bin men get round early and collect everything. So I do need to get home for that. So when I get home, I'll have some breakfast and a coffee. So I'm just going to pack up now and then be on my way. Okay, all packed up. You can't see a lot. Sun's yet to rise, although the sky's getting lighter. We do have a lovely little moon up there through the trees. But yeah, the sky's getting lighter. The sun will be rising fairly soon, I think. I'm all packed up. I'm going to stick my light on just there we go. Super bright. So that's where the tent was. Definitely no trace there. The table and chair was down there. The fire was down this area here. So yeah, all good, all tidy. Satisfied with that. Apart from some flattened grass, all looking pretty good. I'm going to drop this light down so that you can see me better. That's it. Well, hopefully you can see me. I can't see what you can see, but yeah, it was a kind of impromptu, off the cuff. Yesterday afternoon, I kind of thought I was sat inside, twiddling my thumbs, looking out the window, feeling restless, and I thought, bugger it, I'm just going to go out and do a camp. So I grabbed my kit together quickly, popped down the shop, in the car and here, and I'm so glad I did it. I had a beautiful evening set out here in the woods. I don't know if we can do a quick 360 if you can see anything out there. So the sun hasn't risen yet, but this camera does tend to enhance the light a little bit. So yeah, not fun packing up in the dark, but you know, with a head torch and a lamp hung up on the tree, it was all good. Anyway, that's me done. I'm just going to head back now, and unless I come across something on the trek back to the car, which is about half an hour, if I come across something, I'll turn the camera on. If not, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.